perfect timing. We are in need of a very smart human to help us crack the code in order for us to get the world's best cookie recipe. You see, in this lab, me and my monkey friend created the world's best tasting cookie ever, but we locked the recipe into a vault to keep it safe. However, instead of a passcode, we used 3 words instead of numbers. All 3 words have the C and K sounds in them, but I am still learning how to speak your human language, so I need a little extra help with my C and K sounds sometimes, and my monkey friend doesn't speak your human language yet, but he can do cool things, like juggle. The good news is that I was able to remember some of the letters that were used in the passwords, but not all of them. If we can figure out what the words are, we will be able to make as many of the world's best cookies as our stomachs can handle. Do you think you could help us out saying what you think the words are? Wait. You are also working on your C and K sounds. That is awesome. If you want, I can have my speech teacher, Katie, come help both of us learn how to say the most perfect C and K sounds so we can crack the passcode. What do you say? Let's do it.
Nice to see you, Cat, and nice to see you as well, Monkey. Did I overhear you say something about cookies? So we need to learn all about the C and K sound in order to crack the code? Well, I think if we practice really hard, we can do this. It is a tricky sound, but you two are some of the smartest animals I have ever met. And of course, you, the human who is watching this, seems to be very brilliant as well. But my stomach is growling for some cookies. So let's begin our C and K lesson. Focus your eyes on the whiteboard behind me as we get this lesson started. Let's start off this lesson by learning about the body parts that are important for learning how to say the C and K sound. The first body part that we are going to talk about is the tongue. You all already may know what the tongue is, but today we are going to label the parts of the tongue to help us understand where the parts of the tongue are supposed to go during the C and K sound. This part of the tongue is called the tongue tip, and this part of the tongue is called the back of the tongue. The next body part we are going to be talking about is the mouth. We are going to give special names to the parts of the mouth as well. We will call this part of the mouth down here the bottom of the mouth. The part up here, we can either call the soft palate or more simply for this lesson, let's call it the top of the mouth. Now that we know the names of the special parts of the body to make the C and K sound, let's talk about where those body parts should move to make the most perfect C and K sound. Let's start with our tongue in the flat position. The first thing we want to do is point the tip of our tongue down. When we point the tongue tip down, the back of the tongue should raise up until it touches the top of the mouth. We need the back of the tongue to touch the top of the mouth because we need to stop the air from escaping from our mouth. When our tongue tip is down and the back of the tongue is raised up to the top of the mouth, the air has nowhere to go. But when we bring our tongue back to the flat position, the air is going to explode out of our mouth and make the C and K sound. The C and K sound is tricky because a lot of times our tongue tip wants to go up to the area behind our front teeth that we call the bumpy spot. When our tongue tip touches the bumpy spot and we stop the air from escaping, we make a T or D sound instead of the C and K sound. For example, if I saw this picture and wanted to say what it was, but my tongue tip went up to the bumpy spot instead of my tongue tip going down and the back of my tongue raising up, it would sound like T instead of key. Let's watch as our tongue goes forward and up to make the T and D sound. Now, let's watch as our tongue tip goes down and the back of the tongue raises up to the top of the mouth to stop the air from escaping. Are you ready for a little quiz? I am going to show you a picture, and I want you to listen carefully. If my tongue tip touches the bumpy spot and I make a T or D instead of the C or K sound, point to the yellow thumb that is pointing sideways. If it sounds like my tongue tip went down and the back of my tongue touched the top of my mouth to make an awesome C or K sound, point to the green thumbs up. Okay, get ready for the first picture. Tone. Well, what do you think? I agree. My tongue tip went forward to the bumpy spot and it sounded like a T sound instead of a C or K sound. Let me try again. Cone. Do you think it sounded better that time? I agree again. This time, I was able to get my tongue tip down and the back of my tongue up and back to stop the airflow. Now that you're able to tell the difference between a C or K sound that we should try again and a C or K sound that sounds amazing, I'm going to show you 10 more pictures. This time, I'm not going to stop in between each picture, so get your best listening ears on and let's do this. Cow. T. Top. Cone. Sick. Told. Book. Hook. Cup. Tight. You are all doing an amazing job with this C and K sound lesson. The next thing I would like to do is share some secret tips that help us make the C and K sound. The first secret tip is a tasty one, so let's listen closely. For this tip, either grab a tongue depressor, or if you want it to be a tasty lesson, grab a sucker. To help our tongue tip go down towards the bottom of our mouth, put the sucker or tongue depressor on the tip of your tongue and press down. When we press down on the tip of our tongue, the back of our tongue should naturally rise up to the top of the mouth. The second secret tip is going to use the sucker again. This time, instead of pushing down on the tongue tip, rub the sucker on the back area of the top of the mouth. When the back of your tongue raises up to touch the top of the mouth, your tongue body should be able to taste the sucker on the spot you rubbed it on. If you need help getting the back of the tongue up, feel free to use the tip from the first secret tip and push down the tongue tip with the sucker. The third tip is not as tasty, but it still helps us make awesome C and K sounds. The first thing I want you to do is make as long of an H sound as you can. Once you are holding the H sound for a little bit, cough. When we cough, the back of the tongue is going to raise up and block the air that is being made by the H sound, and when the tongue comes back down, the C or K sound is made. The next secret tip might sound kind of crazy, but I think it works great. We are going to lie on our backs and stare up at the ceiling. When we lie on our backs, our tongue naturally falls back and up in our mouths. Let's try it out. While lying on our backs, let's say the C or K sound 5 times. For the last secret tip, we are going to practice releasing the air that the back of our tongue is blocking. Grab a string, shoelace, or any lightweight object and hold it in front of your mouth. Now, while making your best C or K sound, see if you can move the string by using the air released when the back of your tongue comes down from the top of your mouth. Remember to keep your tongue tip pointing down and make sure it is not touching behind your top front teeth. Whew! We have learned a ton about the C and K sound. You all are going to be amazing at making the C and K sound. Now, Kat, I think it is time that we crack the code. While coming over here, I found this piece of paper on the ground. It has 3 pictures on it with some letters, but it looks like some of the letters are missing. I think these 3 words are the passwords. To the human that is watching this video, can you tell us what words you think are the passwords? If you say the right words, the vault should open up and we will finally get the recipe. Ready, set, say the passwords. Nice work! We have unlocked the vault. And I think we unlocked some sort of magic because it is now raining cookies. Thank you for all of your hard work. If you would like to stick around and practice more C and K words, I am about to show you 30 C and K words that you can practice. If you would like more practice after those, visit our YouTube channel where we have articulation videos featuring characters from Paw Patrol, Minecraft, Pokemon, and more. Thanks again for all your hard work today.
If you would like more free videos, games, downloadable activities, virtual materials, boom cards, and more, visit our website freeaslp.com.